What is up, everybody? It's your boy Bruce Wulfe back with you with another vid on Vermintide 2. Kind of forgot the name there for a second, just been calling it the game. It's been our going addiction here for a while now. We've been streaming it pretty much daily over on Twitch. It's been a lot of fun, and it goes with its full release on March 8th. So I wanted to get some build recommendations out for people, because there's a lot of weapons, there's a lot of ways you can do each character. So I wanted to put some videos out, giving people some ideas on places to start to make the startup, doing the beginning missions a little bit easier on you, because it's a challenging game, particularly in the beginning, and in particular if you're solo. But I mean, once you get situated and you learn the game, it becomes a lot easier and really fun. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to go over all the builds, the reason why I did the reasons I picked all my choices. And then we're going to do some speedy up bits of actually taking the build through a mission so you can see how it plays. So first off, we're going to start with the archer. She's the Waystalker. She's the elf, and she's probably one of the easier ones to get started on. She's kind of OP, not gonna lie. So her passives right here. So she gets her health regenerates over time, and it's actually a pretty significant amount. It'll definitely keep you alive through a lot of crap, so it's very good for that. She is primarily an archer, but so she does have double ammo capacity, no range damage fall off, which means she can shoot. She has the same damage 5 feet in front of her with a ranged weapon as she does across the map. And she can also zoom in on the ranged weapon, which I'm also going to show you another thing about. So with the zooming in thing, and keep in mind, again, for the more experienced players, I'm using a swift bow, which usually its zoom is like right there. But with her, you are able to zoom all the way in, do your snipey snipe, even with the swift bow, with any of the bows. To do that, you have to actually bind a key for it. So if you go to your key bind, you scroll down, weapon special. Default, it comes as like the mouse third button or something weird. I recommend binding it to whatever key you are comfortable with. Since there's no sprint in this game, I find myself pressing shift a lot. Then that's why I use that. There's a couple other weapons that have specials, like the Salt's rapier has a pistol he pulls out, and there's a couple other ones. But for her, activating weapon special is what lets you zoom in all the way in. So we'll go back to where I was. There you go. Her ulti is called the True Shot Volley. So she shoots like 3 arrows, and they like hunt and seek targets. So it looks like that, and those 3 lines come out when there's a bunch of enemies there, and you'll see this later when we do the actual mission part. They just kind of go all tornado thing and just hit everybody and do a lot of damage. Let's see. Hey, game. Alright, so the passes with her, I kind of bounce between the attack speed and the critical hit chance a lot. Stamina regeneration isn't real important with her. You'll be doing more dodging than blocking, and stamina is more for blocking and pushing. But depending on how you go later on, you definitely might want to play with these, because they both have strong points. And I honestly think it's better to be at attack speed at the beginning, because it takes you some gear and stuff to get your critical up to where it will be noticeable. Let's see. So this one's pretty good, but honestly, like, if you use the weapons I'm going to show you, you don't really have to worry about armor too much. And this one is okay as well, but I don't think any of them beat this one. So above 25%, your Billion's critical hits gain 30% additional power boost. Word hard. So we did some testing, and for the experienced players watching this, even when you have 2 Grims, it still goes off the percent of your max health at the time. So when Grims have cut your health down to 25%, it's still 25% of that 25% before that passive will turn on. So it's pretty powerful. You'll like it. Anyway, so when you're playing solo and all that, I recommend Isha's Embrace. It like 50% extra health regeneration. It used to be double. They nerfed it for open beta, but it's still really powerful. As I said, that health regeneration is unbelievably overpowered. Balls Quiver, don't do it. Rejuvenating Locust. This is particularly towards the in-game super useful, and it will be almost, when you start doing serious veterans and stuff, I might be ahead of myself, but I will say it's almost expected of you as an elf to have that. And what it does is it takes your regeneration and gives it to everybody in the party, which is super useful, and we'll go into more on some gear stuff later. But yeah, So if you're setting up like this, is one of the few characters that at 20 you would take Weave Bond. I played with all this stuff in the closed beta, so I'm not talking out my ass here. I've had these before. These are the ones I recommend. The critical hit one is super, super useful because you are critting a lot, and with the weapon choices I have, you are hitting a lot. Kills is also pretty good, but the critical one seems to give you more per. Champion when bosses die gain health. It's just the bosses, they don't count Doom Knights as bosses, which are one of the more common ones, so it's only the 2 or 3 actual bosses during each mission that you get, so it's just not generally worth it for you. So, alright, so these last ones, they are all very powerful. Personally, I really liked the focus. It reduces the cooldown on your ultimate by 30%. It's already a really fast ultimate, and you will be spamming it a lot. You'll basically be tagging that off cooldown the entire time. Life Loon arrows are, if you're having trouble staying alive, if you're having some serious difficulty, you can use it. But honestly, with your regen and some smart conservative play, staying in the back and using your bow, you should be alright. This is also a good one, but as I said, with the bows that we're using, you don't have to worry about it too much. So that's my general recommendation. All of these are powerful, and you may switch between them situationally, as well as these two situationally, as they apply for you. Okay, so on to the said weapons I keep talking about. I use dual daggers. They're super fast. They have some stun mechanics when you are attacking things. They also do have some kind of a bleed. As you can see, they're really fast. And so when you come through a crowd, you can just side dash and slice and basically tear apart an entire wave of the little things pretty easily by yourself. I also use the swift bow with her, but as you can see, it has 100 arrows, which is why I said that you won't really have to worry about it. Generally, the perfect weapon would have attack speed and crit chance on both of them. And the gold versions, there's one of these that critical hits regen 3 ammo, which I don't know if it's still 3 in open beta, but it regens ammo for critical hits. Will also very much help you, so if you raise it to gold, that's one of the ones you're looking for. And on the daggers, there's some that critical hits increase attack speed for a short bit, which makes you really stupid. You will go full tweaker. And there's some where critical hits have increased power, or some critical stuff. Most of their dagger stuff comes with critical. Pardon me, and cheers. Okay, on this. These are not optimal necklaces. These are not optimal jewelry yet. This one is. That one's, yeah. Anyway, so on your necklace, you optimally want the one that says you can't heal yourself, but you have regeneration. It does stack with the elf regen and doubles, and that at that point is when you go to this one, you would be able to switch to regenerating locust without noticing anything, because with that necklace on, it's about the same as Isha's embrace, so it's about 50%, half again what you would get. So you have exactly the same with that one, but everybody has regen, which is towards end game, pretty much everybody has that necklace or is looking for that necklace. So you'll find that it's very powerful. So that's the one you're looking for. Your second choice is Healer's Touch, which gives you a chance of when you're healing to not use the healing item, whether you're drinking a potion or using one of the healer's kits to heal somebody else. I've been able to heal the entire team and myself twice off one healer kit before. Now I admit I have insane luck with RNG sometimes, and that was one of the times, but definitely helps. This one, so there's two different options on here. There's this one right here that drinking a potion grants the effects of all other potions, duration reduced by 50%. For those of you new to the game, there is a potion that increases your movement and attack speed. There's one that increases your melee damage and push and block strength. There is one that regenerates your class skill or your ultimate really fast. So you get any one of those and drink it, then you get all of them. You will regenerate class skill, you will be super fast and super high damage in melee. Which is why that one's really good. We call it Tweaker Elf. Because with these daggers, actually I can go get that while I finish talking here. I'll go show you guys what it looks like here. But very powerful on that. The other option with that particular piece and trinket is one that lets you drink a potion, and instead of consuming the potion, it takes a little bit of your health, and you can take that potion and carry it with you all the time. Which, with her, towards the end game, you'd be wanting to carry a concentration, which is the one that lets you do your ulti. This one, the purple one. because basically you'd be able to fire that potion usually. Let's see. So if you watch the little purple line above my health bar, you'll see how much that affects. So every time you drink that potion, it's a chance to shoot that and a little bit more. So spending some, and I'm because of that necklace, usually you would get almost 2 entire shots off of one potion, extra to the one you fired shirt. But anyway, the necklace does cut down the effect of concentration potions, and because of it reduces the duration by 50%, which is kind of an annoyance, but you kind of get used to it. And you'll see with this potion, because this one's a speed one, the yellow one's a strength one, by the way. But we'll just you can see every hit now is 550, and it's going really fast. You can wipe out entire hordes pretty much instantly, and remember, you still have your ulti to use there as well. So that charm is really useful. Definitely use having. The other option is the one that uses health instead of consuming potion. So this last one in your trinket slot, these are all of the character traits. The orange benefit to them applied to grenades. Honestly, I wouldn't even have orange this one, except I got it stock like it is out of a box, and so I just decided to put it on use it because I do use grenades a lot. So those are the basic weapons for it, and the basic talents. One quick thing for those of you that stuck around this long, because this is important. You may not notice when you're starting the game, but as you level up, you're getting these boxes right here. These are equivalent to the top chest in game for your loot. So generally, you're going to want to save those. That's generally what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to save those until you're really close to end game. I think Sai has like 35, 40 of them. I've only got 23 because I have a problem with pressing buttons and opening. But, alright guys, so from here we're going to go to the gameplay portion, and we'll get some good recordings and stuff of the elf in play, and I'll put it in next for you.
Okay, so some basic gameplay here. We're doing against the grain. Well, you can see how easily we take out little fire sprayers and lobbers like that. This is against the grain. It's a very basic one. We did it a lot, so a lot of people, pretty much everybody closed beta or open beta, should be used to this one, so I figured it'd be a good testing ground. But you can see how berserk you go when you get a potion, when you do it with that charm thing that gives you all of them. It's definitely useful. You can see how quick you can just cut through things. Basically, you stand back, you shoot the heavies particularly, you try and get the guys that have armor on them and stuff. These little dudes, the little rats and the little skeleton dudes are like one hit with a dagger, and you can spin through them so quick, it's ridiculous. Like you saw right there. This match, for those of you curious, was Sai as a berserker, which is one of the other top DPS type classes in the game, and we actually recorded this clip having a bit of competition to see who would do better, so it was a pretty fun time. But yeah, the end screen will be at the end, but you can see how easily you bear through it. You do take hits here and there in melee, which is where that regen comes in really handy, because they're not hard hits per se, they're just a lot of little ones that happen. While you are completely capable with this build to take out Doom Knights, that's not exactly your job. Your job in a group setting is going to be annihilating waves, like you see me doing here. The big armored dudes, like, yeah, you can kill them. It takes a lot of ammo, or as you'll see later, you can do it with one ultimate shot in the right circumstances, but generally they don't want you to do that. You can see how quick you can take out leeches. The boss fight, doing it right here, it's a troll. You can see pop off ulti, pop off arrows, let them shoot you back, and then you just deal with the little swarmers to keep them off of your tank and your melee DPS that are in the middle unloading. When you get to opportunities, then you apply deeps. That's not your main focus though. While you're good at it and it works really good, your focus should always be on taking out the waves, because you can do it quicker than pretty much any other class, and they will really mess up everybody else. I love that he smacks me up the tree and I shoot him, and took out a ring one-on-one against a choke rat and took him out. But yeah, your primary focus is to deal with waves like this one right here. This is what you're going to want to focus on doing. It is your job. You are massively higher DPS than pretty much everybody else, so don't ignore bosses by any means. But if a boss is going on with the swarm, you're probably going to want to deal with the swarm. That's your job, you know? But you can see how big of a chunk you can take out of these bosses, especially with the potions going. And I have no problem with getting slapped back by a rat. Like, I'm okay with that. We just let him have it. Take another potion because the bots handed me one in the middle of that. And there, dead. Super easy. Now this is like I was saying, you can totally take out, see that's a Chaos Knight right there. One shot by myself. Take it out, one shot. So that kind of power is something you want. If you're out of ammo, don't be scared. As I said, you will take hits going into melee. Like you can, if you're completely on point, you can completely go through the whole thing and not get hit or not take any damage. You can block if you're quick enough, because the reason why you use those dual daggers is they go from attack to blocking if you need to very, very quickly. So while they don't block a lot, they're only like 2 shields default unless you have jewelry and or perks on them. They don't do a lot, but you can go from middle of attacking to I'm protecting myself real fast. And here's the famous last wave of against grain. Grenade to start it all off. Clear out the right side. It's usually my job. That you can do whichever way you want, obviously. But then you go try and catch up with crazy stupid berserker who took off and is fighting them in their turf, trying to steal the kills, padding numbers. It's bullshit. This is exactly what you're looking for. A whole bunch of these little rats. Oh yeah, that's just maniacal giggle time. Go full blender eyes and just shred them. It's beautiful. Yeah, as I said, we were kind of jokingly competing, the berserker and the elf. 2 of the highest DPS. The only other one that can get close to him, I believe, is the pyromancer, and the bounty hunter can get up there, but the bounty hunter is a little tankier. So right here you can see the numbers. So I'm over 4,000 damage, which is really, really high. Berserker's around 3,000, which is about where they stay. 432 kills versus 313. These are 2 of the most powerful DPSers in game, and the elf wins. Alright, so we're going to end it up with the footage here. I'm going to have a couple last thoughts on why you picked the Waystrider instead of the Handmaiden or the Shade. See you then. Okay, so the Waystalker, that was the one you just saw there. I know we just went over them, but we'll just go over them again real quick. The key ones are the doubled ammo capacity. Helps you get that 100 arrow bow, machine gun it out. Really helps to annihilate packs. The most important is it regenerates health, and the passives that go into that be helpful for you and your entire team. True Shot Volley also really quickly refreshing super, career skill, ultra, whatever you want to call it, that does massive damage and really useful. Now let's look at the Handmaiden. For some reason, she did not get the regeneration, which I have no clue why they did this. The increased dodge distance, valid. It's badass. It's super cool. She goes really far on dodges, so the little dodgy type gameplay, she is really good at. Really long dodge. It's great. She has stamina regeneration aura. Pretty much useless for everybody. Uninterruptible revive. Every one of the tank classes have them. You can also hold block and start reviving, and you can still block and still revive through most of those things. Her ulti is a dash, which she does about the same as the Berserker or the Zealot, where she goes forward really, really fast. She just does no damage while she's doing it, and doesn't get any buff afterwards. Kind of trashy. Shade. Okay, so I really wanted the Shade to be Bay. I'm not gonna lie, like I really did. I really wanted Shade. If you look at her passives, 50% additional damage when attacking enemies from behind. She has passives to increase that even more. Critical hit backstabs instantly slay man-sized enemies. That makes the dual daggers, and you're running through those packs. If you get behind a pack, you're just instantly killing them. And she becomes invisible and can pass through enemies for 10 seconds or until she attacks. All good things, right? All good things. You think she would, at least in melee kills, be able to beat out the Waystrider? And I suppose she can, and I've been able to. I think my top damage match ever in this game was almost 5k, and it was with the Shade. I think I also died like 13 and a half times, and even Sai was starting to get pissed at me. And yeah, so they're... Without the regeneration, she has no tankiness. She's either sucking down healing like like a drunker drinks wine. She's or she has, even the necklace is not enough regeneration to keep her alive through what she is built to do. So there's probably some balancing going on here. I think pretty much all of these classes should use the regeneration, but I doubt they'll give it to all of them. Shade has potential, long and the short of it. She gets the volley crossbow, which is a very badass ranged weapon, and I strongly recommend it for people. She's got great passes and everything. It just does not perform the way it should perform with what she has. You will almost always out DPS her with the Waystrider versus the Shade. I don't think my Waystrider's been beat on DPS I think 5 total times ever, and none of them went to a Shade. Like, I've never seen a Shade get better than me ever, except for when I did it, and as I said, I died a lot. Anyway, so it should really work, but it doesn't. Stick to the Waystalker. She's the one to do. She's definitely the most powerful, in my opinion. Not saying that there aren't, handmaidens and shades that do really good, especially later game. But when you're starting out, stay with the Waystalker. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Square up with that like button, like it's your favorite hater, and make sure to subscribe for keep up with all the content coming out. I got a couple more build videos planned. And there's Twitch links below if you want to catch a stream. I stream almost daily. And yeah, so that's going to do it, guys. I will catch all of you next time. Later.